Okay. I am trying to create videos for some other topics in IT or information technology, and actually I started uploading videos for MSExcel tutorials and MS Word tutorials, and I am even planning to once I'm done with the C programming language tutorials, I'll be creating another programming language tutorials also, like for example C++. Right, I was even thinking of discussing or producing tutorials for data abstraction or data structure, right? So there's so many ways, or in my mind right now. But today, on this particular video, I am going to discuss uh, MS Excel formulas and functions. All right, MS Excel formulas and functions. Because for me personally, I don't know if my term is correct, but I tend to divide some functional formulas in Excel as functions, and some are in my own way of naming things. Okay, I have this formula Excel formulas and Excel functions. All right, so I am going to share with you my screen. Actually, this is my file. Okay, these are actually my students. I am going to share their prelim examination results, okay, and as basis for our discussion today. And I am hoping that along the way you'll be acquainted with some basic formulas in Excel and functions. Okay, I'll be I'll be only discussing at least I think six formulas in Excel and functions, right? And we'll try to differentiate along the way. And in your case, once you're familiar with this video, you can explore. All right. For me, I find it unnecessary to go in detail with MS Excel. Right. It's so simple. Just learn the basic and explore it by your own self. All right. So here, I'll be discussing some formulas and functions, and I hope I can share my way of thinking and looking at some formulas. Okay, because in my case I did use Excel as my grading system, right? So here I'm going to share, for example, um, if you are going to look at my screen, if I am going to get the the sum or the total of test 1, test 2, test 3, and test 4. All right, now test 1, 20 of Viajidor is located at C3. Alright, in my previous video, I discussed about cell, right? A cell is an intersection between a row and a column, and it's a reference to your value. So the cell reference of 20 for test 1 of Viajidor is at C3, and then test 2 is at D3, test 3 is at E3, and test 4 is at F4. If I am going to create formulas to get the total, in Excel, all formulas and functions must start with an equal sign, right? So you can say equal 20, right, plus 20 for test 2 plus 20 for, no, sorry, 20 for test 3 and 20 for test 4, and right, you will come up with 80, which is actually correct. But then as far as Excel capability ability is concerned, you're not supposed to have this kind of formulas equal 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20. You're good as you're trying to 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 use Excel as your an extension, what is it, what I call it, your calculator, di ba? Alright? So, you can use the cell reference. Where is the location of 20? Alright? Test 2, test 3, and test 4. So, instead of saying 20 plus, you can say equal, then the cell reference of test 1, which is at C3. Alright? Plus test 2, D3, plus test 3, E3, plus test 4, F3. And when you press enter key, you'll come up with 80. And so auto recalculation will come in, right? For example, if test 4 of behavior is 30, so when you change it to 30, look at the score in here. It changed also, right? That's auto recalculation. What is this auto recalculation? I did discuss this in my previous video. Auto recalculation can only be applied if your formula is using cell references. Okay, cell references. That's formula, right? That's formula. Another way to create formulas in Excel is equal, then make use of the arrow key, right? And move this marching ants at 20, then type equal plus sign, and move it again in here, right? Move in here, make use of the arrow key, plus, right? Now look at the formula bar in here as I move the marching ants, right? Plus, then test 4, okay? Then press enter key. Same thing, you'll still come up with the same formula, C3 plus D3 plus 3. Alright? And you can, in my previous video, I did discuss this one, right? Autofill button. When you drag this one, it will, right? I'm sorry, there are some you know, character value in here, but it computes for the total of, right, Adolfo, the total of Alardi, and so on and so forth. It's just copy. But anyway, this is not my topic today. So I will focus on the formulas and functions, okay? The formula to get the sum, the total of test 1 to test 4 of behavior is this one. C3 plus D3 plus E3 plus F3. What if how about the functions? There are some functions in Excel that can be used instead of creating formulas one by one, okay? And this is called what? Sum. All right? Sum, all right? And then move your okay, the marching ants in here by using the arrow keys, and please look at the formula bar. Okay, so move in here and press period. Okay, press period and move down. So you are now trying to select. Okay, so look at the formula, equal sum C3 F3, and when you press enter K, the same result. And when you change this one to 40, for example, for test 2, when you press enter K, you still have come up with the same result. All right, so I'll go back to 20 here. So this is what I said a while ago. In Excel, you have the formula. You can create formulas, and you have also an option to use functions. There are formulas that can be converted into function. A shortcut way of doing things, right? For a while. I'll have my lunch now. I had coffee and bread. So that's it, right? So that's the difference between formula and functions. In my case, because some authors in Excel are actually considering functions as formulas also. Right? So that's it. So when you are going to get for the total, you can use the function sum, and all you have to do is to make use of this reference. If you are trying to compute the test 1 to test 4 of behavior, look at the cell reference. It's from C3 colon F3, and that's it. And you'll be using this sum. You're getting the same. Okay? So I hope I was able to explain. I'll go back. Okay? When you are going to create formulas, okay, all you have to do is to press equal, because all formulas in Excel should start with an equal sign. Make use of the arrow key, right? Point to test 1, then plus, point to test 2, plus, point to test 3, plus, and point to test 4, press enter key. And you're getting the total of behavior. Or you can use the function equal, function sum, and move the cursor, marching cursor in here, press period, move to the right, yeah, close parenthesis, press enter key, and you'll still come up with the same. Alright? Or you can just purely include the formula if you're familiar, you're so much familiar with this. equal sum, right? C3 colon if3. Then same result. You still come up with total of Gahidor. Okay? Now, how about the average? For example, you are going to get the average of Adolfo. The score of Adolfo in test 1 is 28, test 2 is 20, right? Test 3 is 20, test 4 is 20. And you are going to get the average. How is that? Okay? We'll try to have this one. This is sum. And here, we're trying to get the average. How is this? Now, all you have to do is to, when you're going to create formulas, all you have to do is to equal, open parentheses, right? Move in here, plus, move the marching ants in here, plus, move again by using the arrow key, close parentheses, right? Divided by 4. That's average. Are you following? So, you're good as you're trying to add 28 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20, close parentheses, divide by 4. Why we need to put close parentheses? Because in Excel, division is, higher than addition. So if you're not going to put close parentheses or open and close parentheses in here, if 4, meaning 20, will be divided first by 4, then add E4, D4, and C4. That's wrong because our intention is to get the average value. So get all the total of test 1 to test 4 and then divide it by 4. That's average. When you press enter K, you're getting 22 as average value of Mr. Adolfo. Alright? Now, we can use functions. What is that? Equal, type average. Right? Open parenthesis. Then you have C4, okay? Colon, if 4. And when you press enter K, you're getting the same value. Right? That's formula against functions. In my case, when I did create a worksheet, when I did create grading system, I use functions. If there are. But if I don't have a corresponding functions for this particular formula, I need to create by my own. Right? So that's it. Now, what if I want to count? Okay? I want to count. What is the technicality of count? There's no such thing as formulas to count. No. But we have functions to count. For example, if we want to count these items in here, how many items, right? So we can do that by creating count. Equal count, right? Then move your cursor in here. Press period, move to the right and here and move down. So you're trying to count all the cells between C5, this one, up to D17. And when you press enter K, Excel will gives you 26. Meaning, for cells C5 to D7, there are actually 26 numeric values. Now, by the way, you cannot count character values like this one. Alright? For example, you say equal count, and then you're trying to, you can make use of the arrow key, by the way, drag, okay, and close parenthesis. When you press enter K, that's 0. Why? Because these are actually character values. You can only apply count for numeric values, right? So that's it. Equal count, open parenthesis. You can use the mouse to select, just drag and close parenthesis. Press enter. That's count. We don't have formulas for count. Manually count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's manual. Okay, so we'll try to put none in here. Okay, we'll just leave it blank. Now, how about next? I have functions like maximum, right? Maximum. I'm sorry. Maximum. There are some, sometimes we don't have formulas for maximum. Okay, you can just look at, for example, in here For test 1, you wanted to, right? You wanted to know what is the how much is the highest value or the highest score. You can use that, okay, by using maximum. How? All you have to do is to type equal maximum, alright, close and open parenthesis, click your mouse pointer in here, drag down. Now do not include the word none in here because it will cause an error, and close and open parenthesis, press enter key. There. Oh, I'm sorry. For a while. Max, alright, I'm sorry, not maximum. And then select, sorry, alright, here, and then close parenthesis. When you press enter key, Excel is now giving the maximum value, 30. So you can manually check it and you can see 30 as the highest score, right? That's maximum. And we also have minimum. So if you want to know the lowest score, you can do that by way of saying equal min, open parenthesis, then select by way of dragging the mouse pointer, and stop at your desired range, alright, and close parenthesis, press enter again. Then you can have here. So for test 1, the highest score is 30, the lowest score is 12, right? Those are actually functions. Maximum, right? You just type max equal max, and then for the minimum, all you have to do is to type equal the min and then select the. That's it, right? So it's very simple. These are actually common functions in MSExcel that you can use in your daily use of spreadsheet. Okay, most commonly used commands and formulas and functions. We don't have any formulas, manual formulas for this. Okay, and then you can even use date, right? You can even use date. For example, you wanted to know the current date. For example, when you print this worksheet, there must be a date printed, the current date. So you can do that by using now function. So how is that? Just type equal now, then close and open parenthesis, press enter key, and then the computer gives you the current date and the current time. That's it. So simple. Okay. So lastly, I'm going to introduce this last function, if. Right? If function. Okay. So by the way, we have a formula to get the total, and we have function to get the total by way of issuing equal sum. We have the formula to get the average, right? Get the entire average and count the total number of items divided by how many total number of items, that's average. Or you can make use of the function by way of saying equal average then the range. And the rest are actually all functions for count, right? Counting the numeric cells, maximum, identifying how much is the highest value, and then you can also identify the lowest value by supplying equal min. And you can display the current date and time by showing equal now, right? And last common functions in Excel is if. For example, we'll add in here, let us say for example remarks. Okay, remarks. Now under remarks, all right, we'll be basing in here. Okay, how much is their total score for midterm? Okay, this is prelim, for example. This is prelim. Okay, and then your system or your grading system will automatically identify and give remarks whether the student passed or failed. So you can use that equal. Please follow my formulas in here at the formula bar. If, close parenthesis, right? And then you can use the cell reference of this 80. That's G3. The total score of Viajidor is located at G3. All right. So you'll be asking if G3. This is good. This is as good as program. You'll be asking if G3 is equal to greater than or equal to, say the passing score is 60. Right? So if that condition is true, meaning if G3 is greater than 60 or equal to 60, you have to issue, I'm sorry, you have to issue what? You have to issue um, pass, or else, right? Issue, I'm sorry, fail, then close parenthesis. Look at the formula. If this condition is true, all right, if this condition is true, comma, then I'm sorry, this must be a single quote in here. Okay, I'm sorry. Here, look at this. If this condition is true, display passed. If this condition is false, display failed. That's if function. This is true value and this is false value, right? When you press enter K, I'm sorry, there's an error in here. I think I need to use, I'm sorry, I need to use, oh, what is this? Double quote. Okay, this must be double quote. Alright, this must be double quote. Let's see, 100% again. Right? So look at this. So since the content of G3 is 80, which is greater than 60, then it display passed. If the content of G3 is lower than 60, then it will display failed. Look at this. For example, we'll try to make this 0. Okay? And then this one is also 0. How is the remarks? It displays failed. Alright? But when we go back to the original score, then right, it displays passed. And you can drag this down. Just drag, just copy. And then your program or your worksheet just display pass or fail depending on the value in here. So this one is 66 pass. If you can see scores lower than 60, this one, it is being displayed with fail. Look at this. 16, it's fail. 32 lower than 60, it's fail. Alright? 48, it's fail. 58, it's fail. Right? And so on and so forth. Okay? So these are actually most common functions in C. Or in Excel, I'm sorry. In Excel. You can use sum, you can use average, you can use count, you can use maximum, you can use minimum, now, and you can use if. Alright? You can even change it to, diba? If you will say good, and in here you will see poor, then that's still okay to display. And click drag. Drag this autofill button. You're just copying the first formula. And then look at this. Instead of displaying pass and fail, you're displaying good and poor. So any score beyond or lower than 60 to display poor. Right? So that's it. I hope I was able to discuss the basic functions in MSExcel. All right, the formulas, I was able to differentiate formulas against functions by my own, right? By my own, because many authors are not actually classifying formulas from functions, but in my case, I did name it by my own. This is formula and this is functions, and all those things should start with an equal sign. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you click subscribe, and please share this video to your classmates, to your friends who are trying to learn MSExcel, right, in a very easy and simple way. Okay, thank you so much for now. God bless you. God is good.